Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live where we'll be focusing on website reviews. So, if you want to have your website review, please leave it in the comment section. We'll take a look at it. If we have time, we have 4 already on the dock today, so we'll get started momentarily. But I just want to welcome everyone to today's show. So, if you don't know what today's show is about, it's where we take a look at your website, see where see what you're doing first and see if there's ways to make improvements. As we go into March, which is crazy, it's already here. It's time to start doing some changes for spring. So, what are some ways that you can highlight and update your website, make sure that it's optimized, and what other improvements can you make so you're able to be found in search, make it easy for navigation for your customers, and how can you entice customers to actually want to book with you? So that's what we'll be focused on today. So please leave your name and information in the comment sections or any other comments that you might have there, and we'll take a look at it as we go. So we'll get started in just a moment. And before we get started, if you haven't seen what we've released recently, go to blog.photobiz.com. You can check out all our updates. We just released what's new for February. Some updates that we made is added some new animations for the scheduler and form block. So now they have animated buttons that just add a little shine to your website, give it a little bit more style and texture to it. And for blog and client galleries, we have a new search bar option. So if you're trying to find that article that you wrote a long time ago or trying to find that gallery that you've been searching for quickly, you now have that search option available. So that's really going to help improve expediting getting to information quickly as possible. So those are some well welcomed new updates. And we also have a new payment option for Cash App. So you'll be able to set that up through Square. You can learn how to set that up directly here. So just connect your Cash App to your Square app, and hey, guess what? Then you can take mobile payments very quickly through the Cash App. And if you need to know something very cool that's coming out soon, we were hoping to get it out this month, but we still got some tinkering we want to do to it. But we'll have video upload options available soon that you'll be able to add to your website directly here. So what's really nice about it is, so if you have some quick videos like looping banners or anything like that, this is a great way to highlight that, and you'll be able to utilize it uploading directly through our system versus going to a third party. But we'll have more details about that as it's released so you can understand how to utilize the new features coming. So, very excited. Great new features coming. And again, check out our blog.photobiz.com anytime you're looking for topics that you want to help get improved on. We have this how-to guide for PhotoBiz AI, how you can improve your AI by utilizing features. What's nice is it talks through how to do it, and then it gives you an example of what it's going to be like when you're implementing these strategies and how it looks on that side once it's complete. You also have some other great updates, such as these great interviews that we have with our photographers. And if you need to start making money with client galleries, we have that available as well. So, great new stuff rolling out that you should be really excited about. So, always go to our blog.photobiz.com for more details. All right, we're going to get started in just a minute. I'm just loading in all the websites and then we'll get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get these websites loaded in, and we're going to take a look and see what you're doing right now and see how we can make improvements. Hope everyone is excited. I'm happy to be here today. This is one of my favorite days where we get to see what you're doing and what you're working on and how we can make improvements. So please join me on that journey today. So the first website we're going to look at is actually a follow-up to last week's website. He has another side of his website that's corporate. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that briefly, and then we'll jump over to the other ones. So here we go. We're going to take a look at his website. This is his corporate side. You can see it's got a nice layout right away when we come here. Something I would do is maybe reduce the amount of images right away. I would like to see maybe a rotating banner at the top. I do like this style, but I think it could either be, I say 5 images at most. I don't think we need a whole gallery at the start. I would reduce that a little bit and just highlight some of your favorites. You can either keep it classy with all black and whites, or you can have it intermingled, but just select which ones that you think are the most, prime focus. Like for me, I'm a foodie, so I know him. That's going to be, seeing Jet here. I would definitely use that, but you might want to use someone else of high profile that you recognize that might be good to utilize. Or if you want to connect to those local branches of your business, having those shine on your website as well might be predominant. Here as well, we got some great details. This is looking pretty good. We kind of see a little bit of the photos up here that we are recognizing there. Might want to just reduce it a little bit. I'd say if we can somehow, and you might want to use PhotoBiz AI for this. See if you can ask it to take this content and reduce it by half, but retain all the information, vital information that's important for SEO purposes. So that might be good to have. Another thing you could do is maybe put these buttons side by side. I don't know if it'll look good. It might just pop it down to the other side, but just something to consider as well. Got this nice road. I would maybe thin out the lines a little bit. I don't know. I kind of like it. Let me see what else we got going on. And see, then we have a lot more down here. So I definitely don't think we need all these on the home page. I think if you're going to keep any, keep the top ones, but you might be able to lose the bottom ones down here. Okay, let's go back up. So here, this is pretty nice. I might even bring this up higher, like right here, and then go into the welcome. I think that might look really nice and get straight to the point of brands that are trusted by you. Then we have this nice section of types of photography that you hold and do. So this might be something where you want to say, select your preferred, gallery. That way they know what they're looking for when they're searching for the type of content. That might be worth it. And then again, let the galleries kind of do the talking here. So if they're looking for specific types, they're going to find it anyway. But, again, put your best photos at the top. And I don't think you need a ton, a 10 at most on a page. On the home page. Then we get straight to here. So I think if you do that from here to down to here, I think that's going to be a way more intelligent way to make this page engaging. It'll load faster, which is what you really want anyway. And especially for your home page, you want that to be optimized as much as possible. And then, yeah, I think this is good. Nice way to send off, at least having a form here at the bottom. So that's my suggestions for the home page. Let's just reduce it a little bit, make it a little bit faster, because right now it's a lot of information to get in, and then we're also relegated to thinking of photos, what's worth keeping, what's not worth keeping. So just something to consider, just to condense it, because it can still be on your portfolio pages. Let's jump over to your about. This is where you can get a little bit more detailed. That looks good. Great bit of information, a little bit. We saw this on your other page. That looks good. Projects that you're familiar with, that you've done. Yeah, I think this is strong. I think it was good last time. If anything, I think you can pair this image up here next to the About Our Business, just so it reduces the length of the page again. Again, it's just, we got a lot of text here. And if you pair it with the image, it might make it a little bit more relaxing, more engaging for the audience. All right, let's jump over to your blog. Recent blog looks good. Looks nice. Good enough. Got great images, a little storytelling. and a nice call to action. What else I might do? Might even want to stick the the call to action up here. Something like George got connected with us, connect with me today, or something like that. Then it can drop right down to the story or something like that, or somewhere in between here before they get all the way down here, because they might not come all the way down here. Just something to think about. Let's jump over to one more. A little bit of storytelling, great bit of information, great photos. Yeah, perfect. I think this is great. So yeah, keep it up. Let's take a look at your portfolio real quick. Great bit of information, title, awesome. Nice little bit of going right into session information, booking your session, dropping right down into it. Like, this is a perfect, yeah, you've done a good job making your portfolio page. The only thing I might do differently after the load more, let's give them something to do on this page. I know we're trying to drive them straight to the booking session. Go ahead and add that call to action down there at the bottom, or put the form directly on the page at the bottom at that point. I think that'll help, and that's probably going to go across the board for all these pages. I have a feeling these are pretty consistent. Yeah. I like the graphics here at the top. That's nice. I like the breakup. And is this clickable? Okay, it goes straight into corporate, custom homes. Okay, very cool. Now, are those visible from here? No, they're only in those pages. So that's cool. So one thing I would do is, you might want to think about your footer too. You might want to increase how to get to these pages later, just in case for people that might get to here and they're like, oh, I want to look at those. Oh, shucks, where were they? And they might not know how to navigate all the way back there. You might want to think about a navigation down here at the bottom that has your galleries, and then those broken out in between it. So just the thoughts for that. But this looks really great. I like how you have it broken out. I think this looks really good. When we click into here, it's going to take us to those sections. So, got to consider how people might navigate. People are very difficult sometimes. They're not going to do everything that you expect them to do. Put it that way. So just give them all the options as possible. All right, same thing with the drone one. This looks great. Got some video content. Ways to reduce it. Hey, you see how you're doing it here? This looks great. If these are your standouts, that's awesome. I might reduce it down to 3. And maybe just put these two side by side. And then keep your top 2 favorites larger, or the ones that you want to profile. Corporate images. Let's take a look at this. Strong, sharp looking stuff. Same suggestion, put something down at the bottom. Give them something to go to next. No dead ends. Alright, next, let's take a look at this. Capture the details. Beautiful photos. Same recommendation. Okay. Let's jump over to your service pages. So here, all the services that you offer. So if they click into here, it's going to take them over to those sections. So let's see. This is for corporate and commercial photography services offered. Get a quote for that. Here we got some testimonials. Is that correct? So we're looking at that. Looks pretty good. One thing I might do is let's remove this this right here, because it just seems kind of out of place. So we'll move that divider. Company logos. Maybe we want to add some information here, like a little title, so we know what we're talking about. So we see services offered. Talk a little bit about pricing, maybe. Competitive pricing might be something you want to put there. What people are saying, something like that. That is titles. Something here. Working with real businesses might be another title here. And then you can see all the affiliates down here at the bottom. So, and say, hey, look, this got the form at the bottom, like I was talking about for the other pages. Now, these are all breakouts, I assume. So, again, you might not want those in the footer because there's so many. But I assume if we go here, we're going to learn a little bit about different types of events. We're going to go here. Or they all go to one singular one? That's the question. Let's see. Special events. Yeah, so they all go to the special events, it looks like, except for So the first three, special events, headshots, special events, corporate images. Okay, so yeah, you can see it kind of breaks out in different ways. But I get what you're doing. So not too bad. Not too bad. I don't hate it. I think I get what you're doing though. So I might want to put them in a different organization. You might want to put small and large format printing at the end. Real estate, since that's like kind of the finality of it all. Maybe if it was like photo editing, that might be something you want to say here. But put real estate since this is still all photography based. Okay. Okay, then we go to our framing. See your frame options. Looks good. So that page, that services page, almost acts as a secondary homepage, but for exactly just what you offer. Again, we talked about this on your other page. Let's give some breathing room. With the color shifting so quickly, it gives the it gives almost the Beetlejuice vibe, if you get what I'm saying, like the bars across it. You want to kind of give it some breathing room, or make some sections larger than others, or utilize the FAQ blocks. I think you can break them up and make them cards. That way this page isn't so long, and that way, with it striped so quickly like this, it can become a little garish to the eyes. A little, so I think either add spacing in between these more, or modify how they're presented. Otherwise, I think the context is there because it's just testimonials, but I kind of get lost on which one I want to read because they're so sandwiched together with so much text, and then you see the striped colors. So just something to consider. Like, look at me scrolling. That can be really distracting and painful. Get too much of a sensory overload from it. All right, contact page, simple enough. And then let's jump over, and that will go back to your other wedding website. So Mike, I think you got really strong websites. They're both branded really well together. Just a few, touch points to modify here. But, I think really consider maybe doing something with your footer, maybe as an option. Just contextualize some of these pages to add different ways to design them. I think that would be really strong. These pages are really good. Let's reduce the amount of information on your homepage and see if you compare this photo with this section, and then for your video section, just make the two stand out and then the rest kind of fall in line. That way it just loads a little bit quicker. But that's my that's what I would recommend for these pages. If you have any questions, again, you can email me or just leave comments in the comment section. All right, let's jump over to our next website. Emily Poston Photography. So let's see what we got going on here. We've got a rotating banner here at the top. Definitely want this to full bleed. And I know you might be like, well, I don't want it full bleed because I don't want the image compromised and everything like that. But what I love is an image, if it's starting this way and then we see a color and then the rest is all kind of like full bleed, but that's not. It just feels different. It just feels like truncated for no reason. I'd rather you have a truncated website otherwise, if that makes sense. You could do a compact site at that point. But I definitely want to see a full bleed just because it makes things just stand out immediately and gives it a wow factor. So I definitely want to see that. Another thing I want to see is some padding above the top of this. It's way too snugged at the top. So we just want to give it some breathing room here. So it kind of matches the breathing room down here at the bottom. So you can add a spacer here at the top and then just color it the same blue tone. Beautiful photos. Client testimonials. Very simple, very straight to the point. This is what I was talking about, Mike. You could have something like this where boom, 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 boom. We got all those testimonials in one go instead of like color, non-color, color, non-color. And it's just a wave and a wave and a wave of things. Package options. Very simple, very quick. You've been updating, so that's great. Keep that up. Ready to book, contact me. Good ending to the page. So overall, really strong homepage. Just a few things I'd modify is I want to see a big splashy homepage banner and give this part some breathing room. Otherwise, this looks really strong. You might want to add a little extra detail to this section because, we see the package options, which is good. client testimonials right away. And that could go either way. You could start with package options like directly underneath here, or you can keep it how you have it. I think that's the only thing I would do is just give people options right away. It can supplement for this section, then go into that, and then client testimonials, then go into what's new on the blog, and then contact. So just something to consider. Just kind of move around the blocks a little bit and see what you get. Nice, beautiful image. Nice little section. I like using the shape. I think that looks really cool. See, I love how this is presented. And you got this pink tone. We haven't seen that pink tone yet, so that's cool. I want to see if it's throughout the rest of the website, though. Because we have seen this beige. And you're using the borders and stuff that look really nice. And straight to contact. So overall, this page looks good. I think this looks nice. Great bit of information, not too long, straight to the point. Let's check out your portfolio. Nice little SEO mention, what you do, types of photos you take, beautiful photos, and straight into a contact. So that's great. Very fast, very simple. Anything else I do these pages? Not really. I mean, these are straightforward landing page style offers. The only thing you could do if you wanted to, but you don't really have to for this, since you only have the basically the 3 galleries. If you wanted to, or 4 galleries, if you wanted to, you could have view other galleries, or other make a secondary navigation right here underneath the form saying view more, and then it could have your other ones, and you could change them. Like this one is right now set to newborn. So you would have your maternity, baby milestone, and then child and family. Then when you're on maternity, you could have newborn, baby milestones, and child family, and so forth. So you could have it that way if you want to have it where it's clickable here at the bottom. But otherwise, I think it looks fine. All right, let's see. We went to there. We see maternity. Yep. Let's go to baby milestones. Looks awesome. Now, the thing that you do for baby milestones, let's see. I think maybe a few little details here about what you're providing, and maybe that's on the pricing page, but just like are you capturing them like every month, every 6 months, something like that, or every 3 months? That way they understand like what types of milestones they're getting out of it. Because right now we see we're getting ahead, we're coordinating baby's outfit, from cake smashes to splash sessions. Just a couple little more details, maybe here at the bottom. Just could be tucked here. Just talk about we can capture any types of milestones that you might want to capture, like their first steps. We have that there, and then blah blah blah. So maybe just a little bit more extra details. I want to know what types of milestones I might be able to see. These are adorable. Great family photos. Is that a senior? We got a couple seniors tucked in here at the bottom. Are you trying to get into seniors? Just consideration. Other than that, it looks good. Looks fantastic. Good details. Let's jump over to pricing. Maybe with the pricing will give me some information. Okay, so we got the baby milestones. So what we're going to do includes your newborn, 6 months, and 1 year. See, okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to make sure. And that might be something you just reiterate on that page. I'm going to capture, those time frames. That way they can consider like going ahead and scheduling that in their head. Like, oh, okay, she's going to get those 3, not like because some people get like, I want monthly. You can give that as an option, maybe. I don't know. Something to consider, but looks good. Newborn session, great. Cake smashes. And see, that feels like I thought that was a part of the milestone. Is that not? Is it? Yes, it is. So that just understanding that might be separate, I'd hate for someone to be like, well, I bought 2 of the things that I already got. Minis, newborn minis, looks good. Other than that, yeah, I think that looks good. I love that this is here. You can put this block directly on those pages too. So you could have these options already for sale at the bottom of those pages, or you can keep it to the forum, whatever you're most comfortable with. I think this looks great otherwise, and you can also have it where this is clickable for people to go ahead and purchase directly through here if you prefer that as well. That way they can go ahead and buy it out of the way. Okay, let's jump over to your blog. What I love seeing is you are blogging. So let's take a look at that. Got some images. How many we got? You got what I called the film strip, where you show a little bit everything, but not all of it. So that's good. Something to consider, you have it here, but people might miss it. Go ahead and add a button as an option for people like ready to book your session here. Click it, and then also put it tucked here at the bottom. You can have 2 call to actions, because by the time they get down to here, you know, give them a booking option, or they might just swing back up to blog and miss it altogether. And then put it here because they might not make it all the way. So think about that. Let's take a look at your other one. I'm gonna say it's probably exactly the same. Yep. And I would also make sure you have a call to action. We'll take a look at this one real quick. Exactly the same. So consistent, but let's go ahead and add call to actions when possible so people can book to have their same type of adventure like you have offered these people. All right, jump over to FAQs. Great little FAQ section. There's a lot of FAQ, so something to consider would be doing an accordion style. Just because you have so many, it might help with people jumping straight to their question faster, if that makes sense. But you can keep it as is. I think it's fine, but it might be something to consider since you have so many. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So just something to consider, like when we're looking at that, like, you know, if we were to go to photobiz.com and we went to the pricing page, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So when you have that many, you kind of like let them jump to what they want. That way they're getting straight to the answer they're looking for, versus what's here now. This could be helpful, but they might also get distracted, if that makes sense, because there's a lot of details in each question and answer. So you might just want to be like, collapse, you know, what types of photography do you offer? Click, boom, there it is. Do you have a studio? Click, boom, there it is. Because instead of it just being like, I offer this, it's a little bit more detailed and like, yes, I have a studio. So yeah, there's a lot of details in these. So I think that would condense this page a lot too, and make it a little bit more, a little bit faster for people to get to the details and information they're searching for, Emily. But you can keep it that way. Either up to you. I think it'll work either way, but I think the other way might be a little bit more faster for people to capture their information they're looking for. Simple contact page. So overall, you have a really nice website. Just a few things: adjust some padding and spacing in areas. I want a full bleed homepage image. Think about secondary navigation at the bottom of those pages, since they're all very much consistent, and put a little bit more details on your milestone page. And you might even want to break out the pricing page where people can book you directly for these session types right away, versus just having it set up with information. Because, you know, right now they want to get to these, they have to just contact you. Hey, they could book a free consultation with you, or you can set it up where, hey, I want to purchase this package, and they can buy it right here and now. So make it fast, make it easy. You already got the one opportunity. They might want to talk with you first, but they might want to purchase from you as well right away. Okay, so let's jump over to our next one. Good job, Emily. Next website. Here we go. So this is a headshots, professional high quality headshots. We have beautiful top banner right away. We can see the style, what it's going to look like, where they're located at. Nice. I like the font choice. It feels very modern, feels very corporate, very stylized to that. Love it. It's very bold. I love the use of these muted colors to let their outfits stand out a little bit more. That looks really nice. Just a touch of gray in areas or beige tones, not all white, and it looks really nice. I think this is really sharp looking. What would I do? You know, I don't mind it. I think it looks really nice. The only thing I might do is, see what this blue or a transparent version of your logo looks like on the blue. Otherwise, it looks really cool, but just something to consider. It might look really neat. It looks like you have the page under construction right now, so you're working on it. So, because if I go here, where does this take me? Yeah, so I snuck in. Let's take a look at your about. Okay, easy enough. Looks really sharp. Looks really good. Simple, easy, and you have them book you directly through here. I think that's fine. I think this looks really good. I think the thing you could do next is add a button here that drives them to your portfolio. I think that's the next step. Just add a call to action there for that. All right, let's take a look. And that's basically it. So, for your headshots, hey, you don't need a lot to sell headshots. What you can do, though, for this page is add some details, add some information. Let's optimize this page for SEO. So we have headshot portfolio. You've kind of done it on your homepage a little bit. Utilizing some details like this would go a long way into adding it to here as well. So you could add those images, and below it, uh, premier headshot photography in the Arlington, Virginia area. And then you can even break down a process of like what you do. You do corporate shots, like entire teams, individuals. If you do events, anything like that, you can set it up that way, and like you can just go through a little bit of the process information, because people really like those details when it comes to understanding how are you going to do this. Do I come to you? Do you come to us? So I think that would be really good to incorporate on the page. Other than that, it's very short, sweet, to the point. If you could, add one more photo, just so it's balanced. So you have 8 total. Let's jump over to the pricing. Simple enough. Straight to the point. A little bit of details. Looks good. What I would add here, go ahead and add your call to action to contact or book. Let's go straight to it. Let's get in there. Simple enough. People don't realize how nice a simple website can be. So I think this is really great. And you have some of that details here that you can add to the other page I was talking about. And I think overall, this is a really simple but strong website. Now, what are the things that you can do? You can add a blog. And what's the blog going to do for you? Well, it shows that you're actively working all the time, so they can see up-to-date content that you're releasing. And it's going to help with SEO for your area that you're trying to get discovered in. So think about that. It gives you marketing materials that you can showcase on social media, share through LinkedIn primarily is where I would tell you to be at if you're not there. That way people can see like, oh, this guy's taking awesome shots in our nearby area. We need new headshots. And some executive might see it. Someone that you've worked with in the past might share it. You can send it to them and say, hey, I'm looking to get more clients. Do you mind sharing my story that I did about your team? Things to consider when it comes to getting your name out there to stay active in this area. Other than that, it's very, very finite on, there's not much to say because there's not much there, but that's not a bad thing. Just ways to improve upon it are some of the things that I suggested. And making, everything goes to your third party way to book anyway. So, yeah. Other than that, really strong, really strong. All right, let's jump over to our next website, Jenny G Photography. Let's meet Jenny. Nice bit of texture with the logo indentations of capturing your memories, like the font choices. These two images, they might be loading strange at the size of my screen, so don't worry about that. But just something to think about. Sometimes things load weird at larger screens, but I also have like a massive widescreen. Uh, why hiring a photographer is great. This looks good. Little details. I love that image. That's great. What would I do differently? You know, if you wanted to start, you have these images right here at the start. These look awesome. But even the rotating banner ones might be great up there as well. So you could always flip flop those sections. Um, this feels like it's left aligned, or maybe I can't tell. I don't know why it's so off centered. Something to look at. Maybe an image was supposed to load here. I don't know. But very simple otherwise. Yeah, it looks good. The only thing, be careful with this information down here at the bottom because this could be considered keyword stuffing. So just be aware of that, especially when you start doing what we call the directory listing. When you start saying you're serving this location, 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 this location. When you start doing that, Google gets familiar with tactics, and that is like tactics from 20 years ago at this point, and it's like that's old. I don't like that. You know, I tell people write more authentically and organically. The reason why we say that is it's very apparent now. A few years ago, when I told people that, they were like, "Oh, that's crazy," but it wants to understand how people speak, so it wants organic speech because the AI, there's artificial intelligence involved. So when it sees something like this, it thinks this is a negative, so it doesn't want that a part of its lexicon when you look at ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these other third-party chat systems. So just be wary of that. You might even just want to reduce it a little bit. That way, it doesn't come off too much of the forced SEO. All right, let's take a look at your about. Love these little textures here. Looks good. How's this gray show up? Yeah, so this is gray on gray, so you might want to fix that because I cannot see what I'm typing. This looks really nice. The only thing I might consider, I like this blue, but this blue in here, I kind of want this whole background to be blue, or at least have like a line here that's a little bit thicker at the bottom to make this feel a little bit more separate from the page. Not as thick as this, but just a little thicker. Other than that, it's a nice page, but definitely fix that form. Let's jump over to the galleries. Fresh 48. Again, be wary. Make this a little bit more organic sometimes, but you can keep it as is for now because guess what? You have it here, right? Guess what? It's set on the page again down here. So it's just things to consider. Looks good. I don't know if you need the full load more. You might be able to just take it in another section, or you might be able to remove the load more. If you do, I recommend taking away just this one photo or switching out this one photo. That way it hits flush, so we can see like a total story, if that makes sense. Make this a little bit larger, the font. It's a little small. And then make this view FAQ, the white background, make that blue. Nice little tic-tac pattern. And an ending. I would add something here that drives people to where you want them to go next. Maybe to the investment page. This one's longer, so I think this one's okay to be a load more. But I don't think you're using a straight black for your load mores. I definitely would use one of your softer blue tones. I think that would look more attractive. Make these titles a little bit bigger. They're so small. Beautiful maternities. Looks good. Larger titles when possible. Yeah. Overall, Jenny, I mean, you got a really organized website with a lot of details. Looks really good. Again, change that load more to a different tone because we don't really use black throughout the website except for that. I might even want to consider changing it on these blocks as well. Let's see. Looks good. Again, same thing with that blue for this one, so it's more flush. I think that'll look nicer. Same thing for this one. Looks good otherwise. Yeah, these are pretty all consistent. Yeah. Same thing with the titles on these. Excuse me. Yeah, same thing for these. Also, it's just me, but I don't like the this is just a preference. You see how the image feels more washed out? It's because the opacity is on and the color choice is white. I would prefer it to be a darker one because it makes the images have a little bit more clarity. It just feels a little bit more darker, but like contrast, so it feels good. And then make the text white. But that's just my preference. You might like it that way, but I just think sometimes that makes it pop a little bit more. Same thing for those. Yeah, pretty consistent throughout all these. I mean, great job being consistent, just a little minor tweaks here and there, mostly the titles being a little bit larger so they're a little bit easier to read, and then just adding that color and fixing the all blacks when possible. Is this an image? That is an image. You could make that probably live text now if you want to. Larger titles when possible. Especially with the scripted fonts, it's harder to read. This is a large image. You could consider trying to make that in the website if possible, just so it's a little bit more, it'll be more SEO, more information involved. So here's that drop down. So if you remember looking at that previous website, talking about that, look how much easier it is to get to the details. So something to consider. But overall, good page. Just might want to consider making those images live text and pair it with images and overlays and things like that. Ginny, let's see, why hire you? Looks nice. Really good. Nice breakdown. Really good page. I would just add a little space here at the bottom and maybe add this on a color so this really pops out, especially since this whole page ends on white. Make this whole background for this like that blue or something like that, or a color to really make it pop out. Oh, we got more pages in the Jenny G experience. What to expect? Let's see. I don't think you need all those dividers. It's a little garish on the page because we really haven't used them anywhere. Add some spacing and padding in between this, give it some breathing room. A little breathing room here in top and bottom. Make those titles a little bit bigger if possible, especially with scripted fonts. Just makes it easier to read. You can see what the where looks a lot much easier than that. FAQ. Search for different FAQs for different types. That's pretty cool. Add some breathing room for this section down here at the bottom. Excuse me. Same thing with all those, I assume. Yep. Yes, and I like how you have them broken out down here. So that's great. All right, let's jump over to your blog. Last blog you did was 2 years ago, so I definitely recommend trying to get some new blog content, just because right now you're outdated. So it's time to refresh you and get you online, and also just be aware of your form submissions because they cannot be seen. Can these be seen? Those can. So just be aware of that. Page looks good. Some breathing room down here at the bottom would be nice. And for your gift certificates, very large image. I don't think we need. Cut out some of that white spacing if possible. And then give this area some breathing room. But other than that, Jenny, I think you have a really well done website. Just some things I would tweak here and there. It really comes down to some spacing options, some color modification, and little minor tweaks like that. Just to really make these sections really stand out and feel more polished. Be mindful of your call to action. Sometimes you switch the colors from like this gold tone to like green tones and then other tones. Try to be consistent on those that people get familiar with. Oh, this is a button, you know, because when it comes to the gift certificate page, oh, this is a button, you know, like pick which one that you prefer. Just want to make sure. Okay. And because even the call to action up here is a dark blue. All right, let's jump over to our next website. All right, so JDG Fine Photography. So we're taking a look at our last website for today. We have a fine art photographer. So right away, very light on words and details. I would probably add some more images if possible, because right now this is just kind of singular. You can make this page as a fine art photographer. You can make your homepage feel a little bit more like a gallery if possible, because right now we're on this one page and we want to make sure that people are aware that there's more to look at. There's a little bit of detail down here, which is fine. Definitely think adding some breathing room for these sections as well would be really, really good. And the color choice, green and black is good. The yellow mustard tone for a fine art website sometimes can be a little different. So just adding some padding and spacing in between that would probably help this area so it doesn't feel too squished in. Otherwise, you're kind of getting a hamburger effect. It's almost like this is the top bun, this is the middle bun, this is the middle, and then here's the lower half of the bun. So just think about that when it comes to it, because most gallery websites that you've probably ever seen, like think of New York or anything like that, they're usually super all white, and they let the photography or the artwork be the color. So just something to consider when it comes to your website design. All right, let's jump over to it. And we can see here, even in your shirt, which looks, your jacket looks awesome. It's even matching the branding of the website. So I assume that's probably one of your favorite colors. Other than that, I think this is a great information about you. What would I do here? I would add just a little breathing room at the top and bottom, and then add just maybe a button at the bottom that tells people to go and read or go see your galleries, go see what's next, or purchase prints for you. So get them to go to the next piece. Another thing you can do is you can turn on text wrapping. So once it gets to like right here, the text won't just icicle down. It'll actually start right here and continue on. So it kind of feels more editorial in that space. So that might actually look really nice. So something to consider as well. Photographs. Got a thematic theme. Click on it, you can see the styles that you have. Definitely want a different call to action since it's so close to this color. So I definitely recommend changing that. I think on this page it was green. I like the green. I think the green looks really nice. But definitely change it from that mustard tone to a green with white text. When we click on it, You can see details, you can see information about purchasing, and how many quantities you want. Simple enough. Like the live preview option, how big and nice it can look. That's pretty sick. Definitely like that. Jump into another one. Looks good. If you're able to show it in each environment, I think that would be really cool to do as well. So something to consider for all these gallery types. Very cool. All right, let's jump over to new work. Add some spacing here at the top just to give it a little bit more, breathing room. And then also add a title for this page. Let's also maybe make this make it 3x2 instead, so that this one's not hanging out by itself. Looks awesome though. Very cool. Now, are these prints or is this just an individual? If it's just an individual piece, you might want to change the quantity amount to just a singular option. Otherwise, people might order more than what's actually there. Just want that to be there. And then you talk about purchasing prints. You can push that down. Just give it some breathing room. Again, change that button back to that green. I think that looked more attractive. And hey, look at this, some shows and awards. I really like this. If you're able to link to any of those shows, do that too. Any way you can keep that consistent and also give you backlinks. I think that's a great thing to do. And then you can also contact those organizations if they have a website that recognizes you. Ask if they can put links on their websites that go back to your website. So other than that, Jay, I think this looks really awesome, Jeff. I think it's a really amazing looking work. Just some things I would do is just add some spacing. Think about your color choices a little bit. Again, let your artwork be the color, if that makes sense. And I think that's going to help your stuff stand out a lot more. Just some minor tweaks here and there. Simplicity, again, very fast, very easy to navigate through. Just some minor tweaks here and there for just navigational purposes. But other than that, I think, stand out, looks really awesome. Just some little things here and there I'd modify. And you might want to modify, especially the new work section, if they're individual prints or if they are originals, making sure that people can't buy tons of options just in case. I would hate for someone to select, oh, I want 200 of these and you only made one. Because that could be a big loss for you. So don't want that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Again, if you want to see more stuff, you can go to blog.photobiz.com. You can see all our updates, recent things that are coming out, options for you. Again, check out our What's New for February. Check out our recent guide for PhotoBiz AI for SEO. And check out some of our stories and other things to help improve your sales funnels as we continue into 2025. We want to make sure that you guys are staying busy and staying profitable. That's the main goal with us. So always ask our team, what am I doing wrong? Or if I need something, what can I do to improve my website? That's what these website reviews are about. So think about other ways you can improve your website. Some of those ways that you can improve your website, you can check out our education.photobiz.com. You can get our coaching services that are available. This is one of our most popular services that we have available. Choose what you want us to do with your website. If you're looking for design help, need some SEO help, marketing help, anything, select here, 1 hour, $150. You can get a lot done in that time. So you can go through there. We can make modifications, tweak your website as we go, get you set up in no time. And you can always book more time if you need it. Upcoming events that we have, you can always click on that upcoming events tab. You can see today was website reviews. Next week, we'll be talking about refreshing your website. So this is going to be a big deal. If you're making changes, if you want to have updates to your website, you want to see the new improvements that we've implemented on the new website builder stuff, this is a great time to see what you can do to make your website more polished. After that, we're going to have another website review the following week. And then after that one, we're going to be Ask Me Anything about generating content with PhotoBiz AI. If you need help with writing content, if you need an assistant when it comes to that for your blog, for your web pages, and even for your marketing, we have PhotoBiz AI, your best writing assistant there. You can say, take this and revise it, and it'll refresh it put new eyes on it, even spell check it, whatever you're looking for, it can do that. Or you can start from scratch saying, hey, I need to write a page that's about this. It'll help implement it, and then you can go through it and redact what you like, modify what you don't like, and go from there. So tons of great new things, and you have our on-demand videos. If you need help with anything, getting set up, all that stuff is here. You can see the demos available for all the types of products that we have when it comes to setting up your website. So check out our education.photobiz.com when you need it. All right, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Hopefully, hey, can't believe tomorrow is March, right? So hope everyone gets excited. Spring is around the corner. We'll be checking in on you guys then. If you want to have your website reviewed, please, in the description, click on that link. Put your information there. It's a first come, first serve basis thing. So we want to make sure that your website's being reviewed when you want it. And hey, leave us comments. We want to know how we can make improvements, what types of content that you want to see about. That way we know we can curate lives based on that information. So I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great weekend.